Hi there. I have with me Kanika Merotra, and I'm sitting in Delhi, and Kanika is in Italy. Kanika, what's the name of the town you're in Italy?
Hi, sir. I'm in Serenio. It's Serenio. It's around 20 kilometers from Milan towards the north, towards Switzerland. It's called Serenio.
And more important, it is very close to the worst affected Bergamo, right?
Yes, so it's around 40 kilometers from my town. Bergamo is just 40 kilometers from my town, and it's quite near
Yeah.
actually.
So there you are. Kanika is in the epicenter, more or less, of the coronavirus epidemic, and must be a horrible thing. This is not exactly something that you will be happy about. That how do you feel,
Uh,
Kanika, about this? I'm asking you that horrible Hindi TV wala question. आपको कैसे महसूस
I
होता
know
है?
how आपको कैसा लग रहा है, but frankly speaking, when it started, we were like, okay, the same thing which people have. It's only to the old people, सिर्फ उनको ही होगा, हमें नहीं होगा. There's just a couple of cases here and there. But now that it has reached this, and yesterday also we had more than 800 deaths in one day. It's quite horrifying. It's quite heart wrenching. And I was just before your call, I was speaking to a friend of mine who is a nurse in one of the hospitals in Bergamo, and he was like, Kanika, it's scary. It's very, very scary. So sometimes it gets on my nerves, like what is happening. It's quite scary.
So how do you keep your mood up or in balance?
uh so most important thing is which I tell everybody I'm talking to, please, also in India, everywhere, US, please don't watch news more than once or twice a day. And that too news from let's say reliable sources. Like in my town, we have the mayor who writes a post every night, and there's an announcement from the government around 6:30 Italian time. So I just watch those two news, and I avoid all those messages on WhatsApp and everything. So I think that's one thing. Second, thanks to all the the Amazon Prime, Netflix, and all the channels. So they are helping a lot.
Mhm.
So that's
And
the yes,
you speak Italian, right?
yes, sir.
So is that a help? I mean, how often do you go out? I mean, you're supposed to step out only for groceries, right? I mean, India is also in lockdown now, but you've done it for a month now. We are only into less than a week
More
and
than a
part of
month,
the day.
sir.
Hmm.
Yes, more
So,
than a month, sir. And because I work with schools and institutions, so mine was the first one to be closed. So I am in a lockdown since 22nd of February. So
mhm,
normally what I do is I go twice in a span of 10 days.
mhm,
Once I go to get the groceries done,
mhm.
where normally what we do is I order it online and I go and collect it. So that is actually, let's say, a little less risk, to say the least.
And you
And
walk to
then
collect
second
it?
is,
You walk to collect
sorry,
it?
sir.
You walk to
No,
collect
I go by car. You
it?
can
Okay.
go by walk if it's nearby. I have a near one, but I like to go to the one which is little farther because it has fresher stuff. So,
Hmm.
and as far as other time, I go to the farmers market,
Hmm.
which is a market of fresh fruits and vegetables. So normally I go to these places in a span of 10 days around.
Hmm.
So yeah,
That's
this
like
is what
going to
I've been
what
doing.
what in India we call the mandi, but isn't it risky given the air and everything that your social distancing is not
Not
maintained?
really, sir, because it's a big market, but now they only allow vendors, the fruit and vegetable vendors. So we don't have any other kind of a market. It's like normally we have in Delhi, Shani Bazaar or Mangal Bazaar, उस तरह का है वो. But
Mhm.
उसमें हर तरह की दुकानें होती हैं. But right now they have only allowed fruits and vegetables.
Mhm.
So there are hardly any shops,
Mhm.
and so it's no, no, it's very, very, very safe that way. Go
And do
to
you wear
those.
masks and gloves and stuff like that? Yeah.
Uh, Initially, no. Let me be candid about it. No, I was not doing it initially, and also because initially it's not for people who are not sick. But given the fact the incubation period is 14 days, you never know who it is, who can be suffering from it. So I wear a mask and gloves, and I normally have disposable gloves, so I wear them every time, and then I throw it every time I wear them. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm
And
doing that.
all your neighbors are in the same situation? You're in an apartment
Yes,
block, no?
everybody's in. I'm in an apartment and it's the same situation. We can't go out, and we can go out even if you want to do any physical exercise. We can go for a distance of 200 meters maximum.
Mm.
So what happens is normally downstairs in my building there is a small kid. So she plays from around 5 in the evening to 5:30. Then another kid who comes around 5:30. So I think we have had slots when people can go down and play, but
Mhm.
that is also very, very less because parents are also equally scared about the kids. So
And there are cops to enforce the curfew or the lockdown, right? Yeah.
yes, there are. Like if I go, basically, you can go out with the self-authorization letter, in
Mhm.
which I have to write, yes, I'm going for this purpose. I have had no fever or anything, or I have not been quarantined for this. So I have to have this self-declaration form on which I write this. I sign it. So if I'm stopped by the cop, I have to show it to him.
Mhm.
So yes,
And
they are doing this.
but your work goes on. You're doing some teaching of soft skills, and you're also,
Yes,
of course, I know you
I'm
as a
thanks.
journalist friend, but you also are making YouTube videos on how to avoid munching too much of junk food. Huh? So,
Yes, so
but
that's just an I'm using all the technology thanks to Skype, Zoom. I'm using it to do my lessons, my lectures online with my
mm,
students. And then I'm just trying to make some videos to help people because I know it's a dreadful situation, and being the first ones in before after China. So I think if I can be of any help, I'll be more than happy to help. So
okay.
if my suggestions can be of any help, actually.
That's quite nice, quite enterprising. But is it depressing in general, or have you got used to the lockdown in some way? I mean, like life goes on, or
Yes, it's frankly speaking, the first few days I was like paranoid. I was watching news every day. I was my parents and my in-laws. Everybody was calling every like 10 minutes. Like we saw the news in India, and the news in India was like Corona ka keher and all that kind of, which was really scary for them to see. And so I was getting calls, and I was very depressed. And I was like, "What's happening? We are getting so many cases." And then after, like, I have to stop watching news, like just from the reliable sources. And now sometimes around 6 when I see the news, I do get upset about seeing such a big number of people